Thank you for watching The Breeze, Genesis 1. And I love that name, The Breeze, Genesis 1, because it's got, the two things. I like the breeze. It reminds me of the Holy Spirit, and Genesis 1 takes you right to the beginning of things, in the beginning, God. So anyway, that's where our channel name kind of came from, our inspirational channel. I'm in a car, I'm living in a car, and see, this is the bedding back here. It's got a pillow over here, I think, and there's some clean clothes, and there's some dirty clothes. This is a jackery to power some items like a phone or something. I need a shave. It's not easy living in a car, I tell you. So putting this on our inspirational channel because, sometimes everybody goes through some tough times, and we're kind of going through some tough times right now. And when you go through some tough times, sometimes you live in a car, and that's where I am right now. So I'm not in the Philippines right now. Right now I'm in the U.S. Doing some things with my son, and we're trying to help him get established in different ways and talking about getting established and things of that nature. So, but I guess the point is, no matter what your situation, and sometimes it's tough like this, and living in a car is tough. Maybe I can try to remember to put a link below this video if I can try to remember it. Look for the link below. But we have a channel called Living in a Car, and we detail a little bit more of what it's like living in a car. It's not fun. I tell you that, it's not fun. Maybe some people are having fun because they got the tripped out vans and really cool vans and stuff like that. I don't have that. We don't have that. We're just in a car. Anyway, my point is for this video that even through tough times, God is faithful, because this living in a car thing, it's not fun. I think it's not for me. It's not fun. I mean, you got to find places to use the bathroom all the time. You don't want to look like you're conspicuous. That's kind of weird too, right? And then you got to get cleaned up and different places, and always a different place and things like that. But if you're trying to be in a hotel, that's really expensive, because we were in a hotel for a few nights. Every night, at least $100, at least. That's minimum, right? Most of the goodness, my son right here, by the way, minimum $100, because a lot of the ones we check into that are the better hotels where you want to feel a little safer and things like that are like a couple of $100, and that's US money. $300, really nice one, or decent one maybe, a really nice one, probably go up from there, but not cheap. But anyway, so you make a choice. Okay, try to get by in life and lift a car. Trust God, try to get you through this little hump. I've heard a lot of well-known people like Steve Harvey lived in a car for a short time. If you follow the Christian world, did Colonel Sanders live in it? My son says, Colonel, where'd you hear that?
He did until he made KFC at the age of 68. He was like 14 years in the car.
Colonel Sanders was 14 years?
I heard it was 14 years. I don't know if that's
well,
accurate.
we don't know about the accuracy. You can look it up, but must be some truth to it. Colonel Sanders lived in the car before he came up with his recipe. I mentioned Steve Harvey, and if you're into the Christian like preachers and following some of them, like there's Kent Christmas. I just learned the other day he lived in a car before he started getting things going a lot more better for him, like he is doing right now. But even that preacher, Kent Christmas, he lived in a car. So I guess it's our turn to live in a car. It's not fun. I don't really enjoy it, but God is faithful is the message here, I guess. No matter your situation, whatever you're going through, always trust God. There's some times when it really feels really tough, but then there's other times that you just try to refresh your mind and take a little walk around and think of some scriptures. You think of God and His beauty, and that's the really good thing about when you're in a car. You got to get out, right? You can't just stay in the car all the time, so you're forced to get out even more so, and you appreciate the nature. We're finding parks, things like that, and going for walks in parks, and just you're in nature a bit more. So for me, my mind automatically goes to God, so it really refreshes my mind. Find a new park, a new path to walk on, a new little trail to hike or something like that, and you really appreciate God and the goodness of God and His creation, and you're reminded again, refreshes your mind. Different scriptures come to your mind, how God is faithful. So no matter you're up and you're down, wherever you're to in life, if you're on the up or you're on the down, always be thankful then and know that God is there. It's not so much your circumstances, but is always trusting God. And sometimes the circumstances, like for us, for me, I guess I can only really speak for me, but for me, sometimes I find this really, really difficult at this moment in time because, it's a lot obviously to do with finances, because if you got the finances, you ain't gonna live in a car. You got the finances, right? So for us, it's really tough on the finances right now, because my house burned down, or our house burned down, because it was myself and my son, and our house burned down. So that was a huge thing for us, and we're not getting the money back, or at least I shouldn't say not completely, because to our knowledge right now, we're not getting the money back, because I've gone through 3 different levels of trying to get the compensation and say, no, ain't happening, no, ain't happening, no, ain't happening. The last one said, no, ain't happening, and don't tell nobody what we said. So I can't tell you who it is or nothing like that. It's one of the official channels, so I think I can say that much because it's pretty vague. But that's the kind of help you get when you really need help. None. But there's a technicality involved, of course, and they're going with the technicality. In my opinion, oh my goodness, there's so much of a better way. I could pay, from the money that comes back, I could pay for the technicality, and they can get their money back on the technicality that they're saying is a problem, and then we can still get our house restored or money back, or however insurance works that way, and they can get the little top up of the premium technicality that they're really hanging on to, that they're saying that they won't pay us back. So anyway, that's kind of a nutshell of partially why we're in this situation. And the other part is my son's trying to find some different income and jobs, and we're looking around for that and things of that nature. I have a remote job which pays so much, but it's a pretty volatile job that I have. I mean, I could do well if I have a better clientele, but my clientele is really hard to get, it seems like. And if some of my clientele drops off, I'm like really really in trouble. So I'm trying really hard, by God's grace, to maintain that. So the message of the story is, no matter what you're going through, always trust God. Don't ever give up on God, even in tough situations like this. I don't give up on God. I do. Like, I had a little conversation with my son the other day, because it was kind of tough for me the other day when I was just dealing with a lot of it. And he was encouraging me to have more faith and things. And I said, sometimes, it's not that I don't have faith, but it's like that scripture. You remember the man that was on the bed, and he had to dig a hole in the roof to let him down to see Jesus, because they wanted their friend to be healed, right? So it was a bunch of friends that got on the roof, they dug a hole in the roof, and they lowered their friend down to be healed right in front of Jesus. And Jesus healed him and told him to take up your bed and go and walk. And basically, he was just healed. But it was because of his friends. And I'm saying, I feel sometimes like I'm like that guy in the bed, in the sense that I feel like I can't do anything. It's not that I give up on God. It's not that I don't trust God. It's just sometimes I feel like that guy in the bed. And you need friends to pray for you, to help you, to be the friends like that help that guy and lower the guy down. And sometimes you're at that situation, right? You just need people to help you in some way, like your friends, like even if it's just prayer or something like that, because you just feel like you're at your bottom and you're just laying limp in the bed. But because of your friends, they take you to Jesus, either in prayer or however physically help you, and they lay you and help you before Jesus, and Jesus is still the answer, right? So sometimes you have days like that, or moments like that, or weeks, or even months like that sometimes, maybe. But it's a thought to think about, the importance of friends to help other people. And I try to do that too. I really do, when I can and when possible. And I've done it in the past. So I know some needs, and you don't brag on yourself, so I'm not going to bring them up, but I can say clearly I've done it in the past as well, when I knew a friend was in need and I had a little bit to help some in some way, however, like physically or financially, whatever. So anyway, again, going back to the point, whatever your tough time is, whatever it is, I'm just throwing in little bits and pieces of our life to show you that, you don't give up on Jesus. God is never the problem. The situation might be the problem. You might be going through a problem, but God is never the problem. God is always the answer. So always look to God for your through your situation. Maybe put in our comments here below if you're going through a situation, how you are also trusting God, or maybe a past experience, how you had to trust God going through an experience and how God helped you. That's always encouragement for everybody to read. Anyway, thanks for watching today. The Breeze, we sure do appreciate it, as we're living in a car. And I'll try to remember to put the link below if you want to check out that channel too and see some of our days living in a car. God bless you all. Oh, and by the way, if you do want to check out all our channels, we kind of have a directory of sorts, because we do different things on different channels. Myself and my wife is still in the Philippines right now. Anyway, I won't mention all the financial troubles there with everything in our whole situation. I'll just say, check out all our channels if you want to watch them. Sometimes myself and my wife doing kind of like a podcast type thing. Sometimes it's myself or just my wife on her channels that she has as well. So, and the directory is filipinamoments.com. If the directory is down, says you can't find it, it is available on Wix with a definite URL, which I'll try to put down below as well, because I'm not sure if I have actually paid for the domain name. I'm just thinking of it now. So if you're having a problem with the domain name, look for the long URL, which I'll try to remember to post as well. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. That's our directory there. You'll find all our channels as well. filipinamoments.com. Thanks for watching. God bless you.